everyone. Welcome to the very first top 10 movies of the best to amazing movies of 2024. And these are the movies that we actually love. These are the movies that we enjoyed. And these are the movies that we highly recommend for 2024. So I'm going to set the rules here and now. 10 to 6 would be the best movies. Basically, our B-rated films. We move on to 5 and 1 are the most amazing movies that you highly recommend of last year. And trust me, I can't wait to see what's on your list. We have The Boy and The Ocean with their own list as well. So it's just not going to be from my perspective. It's going to be from theirs as well. The best for Ocean, starting at number 10.
Okay, number 10, I have Femme. This one was a really great movie with a great message. It was very it felt very real. It was a thriller. Yeah, I really enjoyed that movie. Coming out of it, I wanted to tell everyone to watch it. So yeah, that would be my number 10.
For number 10, I went with Sonic 3.
Really?
Yeah, I did. It's on number 10. The only reason why it's on number 10 is because it was a fun film. I think it was, if you're looking for something that was completely fun throughout the whole year, nothing like super serious or like completely action, I think this Sonic 3 was actually a very enjoyable film. It wasn't overbearingly long, but I thought it was kind of fun. It was a fun watch, really fun. I think you should check it out, especially if you just want to watch a movie. Movies are meant to be fun too. So
obviously for my number 10 starting out is Despicable Me 4. Now this is an animation that we all know. These are like the Minions. Gru is back and he's doing his old shenanigans of family friendly fun. There are some people that did not like this film, but I am hella biased because I definitely love Despicable Me. And to be honest, it almost made $1 billion in the box office. Yeah, it almost did. Even though it's already a billion IP franchise already. So obviously, Gru still got it. The Minions still funny. I enjoy this. I recommend, if you have kids and if you want to go enjoy yourself with them, this is the movie for you.
Yeah,
Despicable Me, definitely one of the best in my top 10 for sure. Number 9. Ocean, what do you have?
Number 9, I have Queer by Luca Guadagnino. Yeah, it's about trying to find yourself, drug addiction, and queerness, obviously, and it takes a strange turn at the end, and I loved it.
It does take a weird turn in the end.
Go ahead, boy. What is your number 9?
I figured I'd have some type of animation or something like that in my list, and one I thought I fairly enjoyed, and I'm glad it actually did win something at the Golden Globes, and that was The Flow. I thought Flow was actually a really beautiful movie, really looking. It did not need words or any dialogue really to understand the film. It was a really interesting movie. It really had you paying attention throughout the whole thing. It was adorable. It was sad. It was definitely a questionable movie that was very interesting to make. I'm glad they made it, and I'm glad they shared what they wanted to show. Really good movie. I really, really think it deserves to be up there.
So number 9 for me is Beetlejuice. Yes, I know it's been a hell of a while since we actually finally got a proper sequel to the very first original Beetlejuice. And to be honest, it was worth the wait for me. There is some people that did not enjoy this neither. But guess what? This is my list. My taste. Go to hell. No, just kidding. But no, it's just what it is. It's one of my favorite. Of course, Michael Keaton. I still think he still got it as Beetlejuice.
The juice is loose.
Exactly. The juice is loose, and I definitely enjoyed it very much. He is basically the start of the show. And I just can't wait. I'm hoping they make another Beetlejuice. But we will have to wait and see if they really, really want to. If not, we're going to probably wait for another 10 years for the third installment, which I doubt it. But if either way, I'm glad that I was sticking around to see it. I was very happy with it. And that's why it's one of my top 10s film of 2024. Number number 8, Ocean. What do we got?
Number 8, I have The Substance. This was the best horror of the year. It's gonna be a cult classic. It's a body horror. Crazy. It's an experience. Demi Moore got her first award in this, and it's a horror movie, so that's a big win for horror. It was amazing. It was very surprising. It's about a woman who continues to destroy herself because she's not happy with her aging, and it just goes off the wall, and it was great.
Yeah, it's like a shot at Hollywood. Yeah. For number 8, I really enjoyed this movie. It was The First Omen. I'm glad I caught it. It's a prequel to, I think, The Omen. I think it's the...
Yeah, it's prequel to... That's my second favorite horror movie.
Yeah, The First Omen here, though, was really good. It was a really good horror film. Had a really good story. Had good actors. It was, like, if I was in theater, I'd probably be a little scared of it. Like, there's not... It just has a really good, interesting story and has a lot to show. The acting was good, especially the shots. Yes, the shots, how everything happens, how they talk, what they did in the film. It has you thinking a lot, like what's going on between these two characters and stuff like that. The film's really good. Highly recommend it. Which, it's surprising it's a prequel to something from like the 70s.
Oh.
But it was a really good film.
So number 8 for me is Small Things Like These. And this is probably one of the most surprising films that came out of last year that I was actually shocked that I came into. And basically, not a lot of people are going to like the pacing of this film, but I'm one of those people like love those small burn films, mystery going. Basically, one of those films that you could go over there and enjoy and watch it. To be honest, kind of over and over to see what kind of you're going to enjoy out of it. Everyone's going to have a different kind of perspective of the ending when they first see it from the very beginning. You're kind of wondering if it's either a good ending or a bad ending. You're just going to have to find out for yourself if you really want to go out and see it. And I do recommend to go watch it. Go watch it if you haven't. So number 7, Ocean, what do we have?
I have Evil Does Not Exist. This movie was so pretty. It's about basically humans polluting the planet. It has a turn at the end, which was a bit surprising. It was the director that did Drive My Car.
Oh yeah,
that was in 2021. That one was really good as well. So I had to see this one and was not disappointed. It was really good.
For number 7, I have The Substance. Now, that was another really good body horror. Again, Ocean already dived into it, but The Substance was a really good film. It was shot well. It definitely made you go, why the hell are you doing that, type of thing. Yeah. And it was gross. It was for surely gross. But it's definitely, like, recently they came out, I think, with, like, a behind-the-scenes thing, and, like, the movie for sure says a lot, too. So I think this movie is up there for a lot of people, maybe of last year for sure. Definitely worth a check out.
For number 7 for me is Heretic. Now this one I enjoyed because it was playing a lot of mind games, especially with these beautiful ladies that basically going out in the world and basically just pushing the word of God. And obviously their beliefs are basically kind of pushed to the edge when they go to this creepy old man's house. And obviously it didn't play out as what they expected. But I did enjoy how mysterious it got, and I did love how a lot of stuff settled, and I'm kind of still questioning the ending if it did happen the way it did. But I definitely do enjoy this film a lot, and I was actually surprised going into this film that I would, like, I thought for sure I was gonna hate this, but I came out liking it more than I thought I would. Number 6. What do we got? Boy. Let's go with Boy this time.
All right. For me, I went ahead and picked The Nora. That was a very interesting dark comedy, which that I did not expect. I thought the movie was really... Huh?
Screwball comedy.
Yeah.
And dark, too.
Yeah. I didn't really know what I was going into. I remember seeing the trailer. I'm like, all right, it looks like a fun movie, a decent movie. As I watched the film, I'm like, wow, this movie has a lot to say. It's really sad, really heartbreaking, but like there's some really, really good shots and scenes in the film. Like there's them in Fremont, it was actually them just walking around and stuff like that. It wasn't like scripted and stuff. Really, really good, interesting stuff. Definitely not something I expected, but it was up there for me. Definitely worth a watch. Long film, but sad and fun at the same time.
I have Challengers, another Luca Guadagnino. He
He's killing it.
And released 2 movies this year.
Yeah, he came out with 2 movies this year. That's crazy.
And he did my favorite last year as well. But so this one, it won. Okay, this is not a movie I would have ever watched. It's like a tennis movie, but it's not about tennis. I would have never seen this if it didn't have, I mean, honestly, if it didn't have the cast. But I'm so glad I did, because it's not about tennis at all, and it was so unique. It won Best Score. The soundtrack is amazing. At the Golden Globes, Oscars haven't happened yet, but yeah, that was so surprising, and I hate that it's so high up on the list, but there was a lot of good movies out. So
let's go for number 6 for me is Flow, another animation film that I love. I enjoyed it. To be honest, I was actually surprised as well seeing this. And when I went into the film, I was kind of thinking about maybe they're going to do a 180 and they're going to start talking, but they didn't. So these is definitely of a story about animals that don't really talk.
Mhm.
They don't. They are legitimately animals. And this is the thing that I'm kind of sad about, because obviously a lot of people are going to skip over this just because there is no interactions
Yeah.
with other humans, with other funny
It won
characters.
something though. Proud of that.
Exactly. And it did provide what we actually wanted, animals that they act like animals, and it carries a plot and a story that we definitely would enjoy. But obviously not a lot of people went out to go see it because it only made 9 million in the box office.
Damn.
I know, it's sad. And I feel like these kind of films are disappearing from the box office for sure, and I don't want them to see them just puff out and
Yeah.
never show up again.
It's like a once a decade thing.
Exactly. And this is why we don't get good things.
Yeah.
So obviously, I recommend, if it comes out near you on, DVD streaming service, I recommend to check it out. Number 5, the most amazing films of 2024. Starting from number 5, go ahead, Ocean.
I have a Nora. So we have a Nora again. Yeah, this was, I don't watch a lot of like comedies or screwball comedies. This was funny, but it was also it had a lot to say, and the way it was shot was unique. The way he did certain shots, I was just really invested in the story. Yeah, so some of the scenes were just like regular environments. There was like only the actors were scripted, everyone else was just, and it just felt so real because of that. And the ending is what really made the movie like one of the best for me, because the ending just completely changes the whole thing, and you can see her perspective with that ending. So that's really what did it for me. So yeah.
So number 5, go ahead, boy, for the most amazing film.
All right. So I was torn by this because I did want to put Terrifier there. However, if it wasn't for the lack of 30 minutes that he took out, then I would have probably put it there. But I do have to put Challengers in there. Now, the reason why I put Challengers in there is because, like Ocean said, the sound was there, the acting was there, the suspense. It had you kind of feeling anxiety as you're watching the film. Not just that, but I didn't expect it to be like something. I was like, she was telling me about this. I was like, a tennis movie? Like, really? I don't want to watch
you didn't wanna
tennis.
watch it.
I really did not want to watch this film, but I'm glad I watched it because it is actually a film worth checking out. There was a lot of good music that came out, like good scores, and it did win one, and I see why, because the final act is insane. The way it's shot, the way everything's going, the last, I think it's like 10 minutes of it are just insane. Like, it had to end the way it had to end. But that is my number 5.
All right, well, I'll take that bet, because I'll put it in my 5th spot, Terrifier 3. Now, this one, I'm a newbie. I came into this film expecting nothing. I thought it was going to be another
Hell yeah.
slasher film, another
Hell yeah.
wannabe villain killing folks. But boy, was I wrong. Did it shock the hell out of me? And it really did. It pushed the boundaries even I was not ready for. Nobody was safe in this film, and I suggest you go watch it.
Hell yeah.
And to be honest, I really was thinking about actually getting the whole DVD box set, if there ever is one.
There is.
Oh, there is?
There is, dude.
Exactly. I want one right now. So yeah, but basically Terrifier 3 is one of the best slasher films, basically horror films. Obviously Art the Clown is one of my top favorite villains. Yeah, he is definitely my favorite killer thus far, and I am shocked. Not a lot of horror films does that to me. So I can't wait to see the next installment for Terrifier 4. I can't wait. I suggest you go see this one immediately when you have the chance. That's why it is the most amazing one in 2024. Number 4, Ocean. What do we got?
Number 4, I have Conclave. We just watched this today, and I was torn between this and Nenora on the spot, but it got me really invested in Pope drama. And
It was there, brother.
For a movie to get me that invested in Pope drama, it also does say a lot. The ending was surprising as well. I'm not sure about the ending yet because we just watched it. I do like it, but yeah, it was really good.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right, for me, I have small things like these. This was a very surprising film. Just like when we reviewed it, I talked about it a little bit more. But this was a really very informative, interesting take on a film. It had, Cillian Murphy as our star lead role. It had great actors in it. I like how it was shot. I really, really liked how it was shot. I didn't know it was based off a book until I was told it was based off a book. But this was one of the films I'm glad I went out there to watch. Just like how you said with Terrifier, you walked in, didn't expect much, but you came out with a lot. So this was a really, really great film. That's why it's really high up here. Honestly, it could be up there for number 1, 2 for me.
All right, for my number 4 is Nosferatu. And it took me a while to learn that name because, boy, did it made an impact out of me in 2024. And it was basically right almost when the year ended, too,
Yes.
in Christmas time. And boy, did I love this character.
I'm glad he liked it.
I enjoyed it. I wish I could have reviewed it
Yeah,
because I would have shared the love what it actually brought. All the characters, I know, even though he's like a villain, I definitely love, his
Bill
vampire
Skarsgård.
ways and how the character sounded.
Yeah.
He was creepy.
That's his real voice, too.
Exactly. And I was like, yeah, you got to check something out. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's definitely a creepy guy. And obviously, I could see why a lot of people enjoyed it.
Saw it 3 times.
3 times, right?
Yeah.
And I could go see it again. This is definitely going to be one of those films that will test the time.
Yeah.
And I could watch it over and over again.
Yeah.
Because the way how he does, I love the
Yeah.
shadow part with the
Yeah.
arm, and I was like, that's it.
Oh, in the
Yeah.
town? Yeah.
Basically, the environment, too, you'll
Yeah.
be spooky. I think everybody did an amazing job.
Yes.
And they deserve every reward they could get. Amazing film. So, number 3. What do we got, boy?
All right, for number 3. So this one I put up there because when I think of a blockbuster film, this is what it was. This was Dune 2, Part 2. That was a really, really great film. It had a way better script than the first one. It had the intensity, the shots, the acting, all of it. I think it was almost this close being the best movie this year. I saw that movie twice. I would see it again. That was a really good film. That was a blockbuster film. That was like Oppenheimer and stuff like that where you go into theaters and that has to be seen in theaters. It was that good for me. I enjoyed the hell out of that film. I'm excited for what they bring next. I do want to catch the show, but Dune Part 2 was the movie for me.
Can you beat that, Ocean?
Mine's the same.
Oh.
It's one of the few Dune 2, one of the few movies I watched multiple times this year. Had to see it in IMAX.
Got her crying.
I think we did 70 millimeter. I don't remember, but had to see it, and for the music, the score, to hear it in the theaters. Every shot is a masterpiece. It's long, but you're just like in amazement, like the whole movie, just watching it.
All right, for my number 3 is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And this is, I love Sonic. I enjoyed these characters. And there's reasons why I think it's really high up there, because this is something that families could go see it together. No matter how, what kind of age you are, you could go see this and have fun with. I could recommend this to anybody and they'll probably come out with a smile in their face.
Yeah.
Because Jim Carrey sells it. He's a cartoon in a human's body and he knows how to act. For love of God, he's playing 2 roles.
Yeah.
The man could do it and he's willing to come back again.
Yeah.
So I will give him whatever he wants. Please cast him again. I don't care. I need another Sonic, and we're going to get another Sonic.
Yes.
So I can't wait. All right, so number 2. What do we got, Ocean?
I have small things like these. There's something about this movie, this setting, and the message that I just really love. It's a small Irish town, Catholic setting with like an important message that needs to be shared. Cillian Murphy. This movie was just for me. I love slow burns. I don't know, like maybe other movies are better than it, but this is what I put as my number 2. This is like a movie for me. I loved it.
All right. It's for me number 2, Nosferatu.
Yeah.
It was bound to be on my list regardless. After all, we saw the film 3 times. I think it's a great retelling of Nosferatu, which was made like practically 100 years ago, 1922, I think. The way Robert Eggers shot this film, I don't think it ever really like pulled me out of the film, but it had such a strong cast of acting, which is what this movie called for, and you got it with everyone. You got it with everyone. I'm glad they hid Bill Skarsgård as Nosferatu. They did a lot with his voice, his training that he's gone through, the shots, the messagings of behind them, the meaning of everything. Especially when you rewatch it again, you notice them a lot more. It's one of those films where you rewatch, you're like, oh, I didn't notice that maybe the first time. A long film. I'm glad it's a long film because it needs to be a long film. But this was a movie. I'm glad it had people in the seats in theaters to watch. Definitely good sound too, music, and the payoff in the end was perfect.
Deadpool and Wolverine. Wow. So this one brings me back because I could just remember talking about this over and over like a broken record, that basically this could be either a fuck up film for Marvel because they've been fucking up throughout the whole MCU.
This would have been their biggest if they fucked.
Yeah, exactly. This would have been the downfall. You could already see the Titanic drowning. Before you notice, you actually see one lifeboat. And guess who's on it? Hugh Jackman and, of course, Ryan Reynolds, right? They're both in there legitimately pulling the Titanic out of the water. Just them on their own. And this is definitely, I could recommend to not almost everybody, but the people who are fans of the MCU who think that maybe they still have a chance to bring back fans into the seats again. Final one for number 1. What do we got, Ocean?
I have Nosferatu, no question. This is the only one on my list where I'm like, this is number 1. Yeah, we saw it 3 times. I could watch it over and over forever. Every shot is perfect. Yeah, I love it. I love everything about it. It's crazy like what went on behind the scenes. This was Robert Eggers' dream movie. He would do his own plays for this movie, the original, when he was a kid, and he's been working towards making this, and it was
since
2016,
since after The Witch.
Yeah, the amount of work the actors put into it, they really cared about the role. Lily Rose Depp, she's really proving herself here. Bill Skarsgård is always amazing. Willem Dafoe is always amazing. Yeah, I loved it.
All right, it's super recent, very out of the blue, but it was Conclave. Conclave was amazing. The drama was insane, and this is something you wouldn't expect, but this movie had the drama. It had the dialogue and speeches he gave in this film that were really hard hitting, as well as some other characters. And it was interesting to see how all these people played a part in trying to become this pope. What leading to it, it shows a bunch of people with corruption. You know how they lose their faith in it along the way. What they're really supposed to be there, which he makes the point of forget everybody else. It's here to serve God, the word of God. He's this man struggling really, really hard to do the right thing, and he didn't want to do the things he had to did, but he had to do them. And that movie was stellar. It's a movie you have to check out.
All right, for my number 1 is Dune Part 2, Let the Spice Flow. Now, this one wasn't interesting for me. I was hating on this film. I thought everybody was talking out of their ass.
Glad I brought you.
Exactly, until you guys came over here and legitimately poured spice all over me, and I actually enjoyed it. I never thought I was gonna see this film, to be honest.
Nor did I.
Exactly. I came in here unexpectedly wondering if it's gonna be as good as everybody said it. But I'm a fan now. I just love the characters. It's a 2 hours and freaking like 45 minutes, like almost 3 hours.
All gold.
And it is worth it. Madame Madim, I don't know how you say that. I probably butchered it, but I do not care.
Yeah.
I am a follower.
Yeah,
And
Stelgard.
I just love the
Oh.
world. I love how everything around it feels like, to be honest, it feels like the first ever Star Wars when you first see it as a kid.
Exactly.
And this is something that I'm glad I am live to see on the
Yeah.
big screen.
Yes.
And I'm glad I took the chance to go see it. I can't thank you guys enough to forcefully taking me out of it to go see it.
Like I said, that's what I think of a blockbuster film.
And this is definitely, you could see this over and over and over, like you said. And it is definitely one to remember by. And obviously, I can't wait for the third installment, which is part 3, but they're calling it Dune. Dune Messiah. So I cannot wait.
Yeah.
And trust me, I tried learning these words. You guys have the books. You're going to have to let me borrow it. All right, then. But either way, these are our favorite films of 2024. Please tell us what's your favorites of 2024. Do you actually agree with us? Do you disagree?
Yeah.
Please let us know what is your top favorite list. And if you could actually make it one, we'll definitely look at it and see what it is.
Hell yeah.
But until then, we will see you guys on the next one. I can't wait what the hell 2025 will bring, but I'm sure we'll get to see many more surprises and probably see what kind of films change our lives for sure.
Hell yeah.
All right, but until then, we'll see you guys on the next one. Later.
Later, guys.